Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about the Titans trailer. Just kidding, we're talking about Nick Fury today. Haha, funny joke. Anyways, so Nick Fury. We've had the legendary event. I believe they told Casino who's going to be farmable for that, so now we know for sure how we're going to be getting Nick Fury. And in my opinion, it sucks. But I'm going to be talking to you about today of whether Nick Fury is worth that, who you're going to be farming. But again, because of who we have to farm, there's not much strategy. No need for me to make a fancy JPEG for you guys because it sucks. It's only Kree minions. But first, before we talk about how we're going to farm him, let's take a look at Nick Fury as a character, and let's talk about him. Now, of course, they did say they're going to be rebalancing Nick Fury in the future to maybe make him synergize a little bit better with S.H.I.E.L.D. minions. So the rest of the Avengers kind of work together. So it'd be weird to kind of throw Nick Fury into the Avengers team to boot the rest of the Avengers down. And there's no other real S.H.I.E.L.D. characters outside of the Avengers. So I think the idea with Nick Fury is he's going to be put into a team with the S.H.I.E.L.D. minions. And the S.H.I.E.L.D. minions are going to go from 0 to hero. So don't take this kit like word for word, because I'm sure some of this is going to be changed. But this should give you a good idea for how Nick Fury is right now. And as of now, even before they change him, I still think he's a really good character. So Nick Fury's basic attack is Custom Icer. He'll attack the primary target for 200% damage with 20% crit chance, 50% chance to chain attack to up to 4 adjacent targets for 150% damage with 20% crit chance, and he'll grant +1 ability energy to an ally each time you crit with this attack. So, oh, my mouth hurts from saying that. That's the general rule of thumb in these kind of games is the longer the skill's description is, the better it is. And Nick Fury, man, that's a long skill. So essentially, he's going to hit somebody, and then you're going to hope it crits, and if it crits, then he gives some ability energy to an ally. Then he's going to maybe attack again, and you're going to hope it crits, and he's going to keep, hopefully, he's going to chain, and then every time he crits with this chain, he'll give ability energy, so he'll kind of synergize a bit if maybe one of the allies can give crit chance. Like maybe they'll change some of the S.H.I.E.L.D. minions to increase crit chance, so that way they can sort of synergize with Nick Fury. So that's a good idea to put somebody that increases crit chance with Nick Fury. Nick Fury's first special is Rally. He'll gain defense up for 1 turn, and he'll heal all allies for 2,700 health plus 5% of Nick Fury's max health. Then he'll apply all positive effects on self to allies. So here, right now, you can see that the defense up, not that great. The heal, not all that great, but they apply all positive effects on self to all allies. Now that has a lot of potential. Right now on his own, Nick Fury is not necessarily capable of taking advantage of this because he doesn't give himself any status effects. Like, well, he does give offense up to himself, and so you could combo reinforcements with Rally. But that's it. Reinforcements is a relatively long cooldown. It's not something I would expect to pull off, multiple, like too many times in a battle. So you're gonna definitely want to synergize him, maybe with a character that can apply buffs to him. I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that applies buffs to allies. Like maybe Luke Cage. Does he give defense up to allies? I believe maybe Nick Fury and Luke Cage could work together. And what's interesting is with Rally, he does give defense up to himself. So I don't know if he gives the defense up to himself then applies it to everybody. So that'll be kind of interesting to see how it plays out. A lot of potential with this skill, but I don't know if Nick Fury's necessarily applying enough status effects to himself for it to really become like crazy good. Like maybe if with Custom Icer, maybe he could get like maybe something with it, like some kind of status effect to give to his allies, because otherwise all he's going to do is give defense up and offense up, which isn't bad, but with the long cooldown, it's not something that I'm going to bring Nick Fury onto the team for. Then Nick Fury's ultimate is Reinforcements. He'll gain offense up for 3 turns, so 3 turns is pretty crazy. I don't know if anybody else gets a status effect for 3 turns in this game. He'll summon 2 shield agents at 300% normal damage and 100% of normal health. So this is kind of his summoning. He's bringing in some shield minions, gaining offense up. Nothing too mind-blowing here. But, not a bad skill. It's kind of better than, like, what Yondu does. Yeah, Yondu, he'll just summon in the minions, and that's it. Nick Fury summons in the minions and then gains offense up. So, very interesting here. And his passive, at the start of each hero ally's turn, 25% chance for an ally to gain team attack for that turn. So, I believe that means that they automatically assist the ally. All in all, Nick Fury's looking pretty great right now, even before his buff. I think the concept with Nick Fury they're trying to go for is they want him to go into a team with shield minions. You know, once Red Skull comes to the game, I think they're going to want Red Skull to go into a team of Hydra minions. So they're kind of trying to build Nick Fury around buffing up those minions to try and have them come to the level of power that like the heroes have. So I think that's something they're going to bring in a bit more when they retool the minions, and they might even work with the minions applying positive effects to each other, so that way they could give them to Nick Fury to then apply to the whole team. So it'd be interesting to see how they change the minions to help benefit Nick Fury. But what I do need to also talk about this video is how we're going to be farming up Nick Fury. So essentially it's been leaked / told that the only way you're going to be able to get Nick Fury is from a legendary event using Kree minions, not Kree characters. You can't use any of the good characters. Nope, no Karath, no Ronin. Well, Ronin's not that good, but at least he's a hero, so at least he has some relevance. Karath, actually a relatively good character, but unfortunately you can't use him. Nope, Foxnest hates us, so we're using the Kree Noble. I do not like this at all. Now, I understand why they're doing this, because in the upcoming Captain Marvel movie, Nick Fury is going to play a prominent role in that, and they're going to be fighting the Kree. But the movie isn't out yet. We haven't even had a trailer for it. The average person doesn't even know that Nick Fury's fighting the Kree. Nick Fury's not commonly known for fighting the Kree. Like, if you want to go for an enemy of who, you know, Nick Fury is, you know, maybe Hydra would make more sense. That's the opposite to S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, or you could, what makes the most sense is to have him use S.H.I.E.L.D. or Avengers characters, but you know, we already have those guys relatively built up. They could use Avengers, you know, since because we need S.H.I.E.L.D. to get Iron Man, then we could kind of build on top of that by then needing the Avengers to get Nick Fury. You know, you could even make Iron Man a requirement for the Nick Fury mission. You could build on top of it. I would have preferred that. Instead, there's like, who does nobody have ranked up? Kree minions, yes. Like, does anybody have the Kree minions at 5-star? I do not think so. If we go through the characters, I believe one of them isn't even farm. Like, this guy's barely farmable. Kree Oracle from the raid store. So, sorry, if you want Nick Fury, no more farming of any other characters from raids. You need to get Kree Oracle. Reaper, I believe, has a mission. Cyborg has a mission. If we go back over to the Kree, Royal Guard, he's Blitz. Not the worst, but it's really not ideal, and I believe that about covers it for the team. Did we miss anybody? No, oh, it's Noble. So Noble's farmable on Cosmic 1/6, so that's a relatively hard mission to reach as a new player. So, and they're really bad too. Like that was a curveball right there by having us require Kree, and then they just like beat us up while we're down by making us only require Kree minions. They only did that because nobody has Kree characters. You know, I could understand maybe having the Krees being used to get Miss Marvel, because that's a common enemy to Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. But Nick Fury, they're literally just doing that because they know we don't have Kree minions. Again, I know there is a connection between the two of them, but it's such a little connection that they haven't even, like, Marvel officially hasn't really even, like, talked about, that it's just such a stretch that they just want us to spend money. That's it. I'm not a fan of how they're making us get Nick Fury, especially just the minions. Like, come on, guys, just the minions? That's it's so bad. But not how I'd do it if I was Fox next. But at the end of the day, guys, Nick Fury is worth it, but the Kree minions are so bad to farm him out that it's hard to. He's definitely a late game character. I wouldn't throw away farming other characters to get Kree minions, because you'll get nowhere in this game. But if you're later on in the game and you have some free energy, then yeah, you should start farming up the Kree minions so you can get Nick Fury. So what do I know, guys? I am just a 16-year-old. Signing off, guys.